Welcome to Knife Chats. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. An often asked question. I've got this new old stock and it's still in the original Clam packaging. Should I open it or not?
So I recently got a few new knives, or new old stock knives, off of eBay, and they were in the original packaging. And someone once asked, when you get these kind of knives, do you open the package or do you keep them in the package? Well, I've talked to a couple different knife collectors, and there is mixed emotions on it. But the ones I respect most basically said that these type of knives, first of all, they're an economy brand knife. This is a Colonial Sportsman. This is an Imperial Schrade Century, and this other one down here is another Colonial Swiss Master Series knife. I've already opened it, which kind of gives you a clue on what I normally do. And yes, I normally open them, and there's a number of reasons for that. First of all, in some cases, the knives did not always come in a Clam package. Sometimes they were just sold off of just a big old board, and they were just held on by rubber bands and such. In the case of this one, you also see the yellowing going on here. That's because there's a chemical reaction happening between the plastic and either the paper or the knife, or just in general, there's some kind of chemical reaction happening just from the light. And that chemical reaction can actually damage the knife inside. The other thing that happens is, even at a package like this, which is a more airtight package, you have oil on the knives, and that can start breaking down, and it can also cause damage to the knife or the scales or the metal, who knows what. It can also react with the paper, causing other things to happen. So in general, even though they are protected in the case, that doesn't mean that the knife cannot be damaged by the case. So I normally go ahead and open them, and what I do is I save the packaging for the knife, such as what I've done with this one, where if you notice, I cut it open so I can take the knife out, and then I can actually play with the knife, and do things with it and actually show it off, review it and such. But I still have the packaging if I want to keep the packaging. And so what I'm going to do on this one is, even though I could just peel off the paper, I will still make a cut here and cut the plastic, trying not to damage the paper. And I'll cut it enough, kind of hard to do while filming, so that I can get the knife out. And now I can actually inspect the knife and make sure it's okay. And you can see that the blades are already a little stiff, and that's because the oil on it has kind of dried up. So even though it's new old stock, doesn't mean it can't have problems. Look at the back of the scale here. That's from the paper and everything on the inside here. So new old stock doesn't really mean much. You can still get damage on a knife simply from the packaging. So my advice, take them out of the packaging, keep the packaging separate, just like you do with your knife and your leather sheath. The sheath can damage the blade on your knife, and the packaging can damage your knife. Point taken, I think. Thanks for watching.
So I'm thinking some people may think that was trick photography, or that I had opened that package earlier or something, but that is not the case. That knife actually did come out of that package as I was cutting it right there. It was the first time removed from the package, and as you could tell, there was definitely a bunch of oily goop all over the back of the knife. I'm sure it had never been opened before, but that's what happens sometimes with those packages. You can actually cause damage to your knife with the Clam packaging, and that's why I usually take them out of the package when I first buy them, and if I buy new old stock, I also take them out of the packaging and just save the packaging. And I would advise you to do that too. After cleaning up the knife, you can see here that there is definitely a darkening here, so there is a permanent stain on the back of this knife there, as well as a couple other little spots where there's permanent stains on this new old stock knife. So uh, just let that be a warning to you when you're buying these knives in old Clam packages. They can still be damaged. As always, thanks for dropping by, and remember, you're only as sharp as your knife.